Hello and welcome to 2024. My name is Chris Bover. I am the founder of the Bover Academy here, based out of Omaha area in Omaha, Nebraska, where our mission is to train and develop superior linemen to dominate on the gridiron. Now, this year we're adding to what we've done in the past. So I'm here today with Dr. Nolan Clausen of Midwest Movement Elkhorn. Yep. Dr. Nolan, thanks for joining us again. And our goal is to take you on a journey, right, from now until the start of the season. So the last couple of years, we did our building alignment. We did building alignment, then building alignment 2.0. And, down the link in the captions, you're going to have links to those to go watch kind of the physiology and talking about these different body parts. What we want to do is we are going to basically, starting in January, take you on a 6 or 7 month journey to prepare you to be the best offensive lineman you can be physically, right? And again, in the caption, you'll have links to these videos we've done before that really discuss how our body operates. It's really changed how I teach offensive line play. So what we're going to start out with, right? We want to build alignment from the ground up. So we're going to really work today on our lower body mobility and flexibility, strength, some exercises. And what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate these. And then again, wherever you're watching this video, we're going to give you a little bit of a workout. And this is some auxiliary exercises you should do a few times a week, you think?
Yeah, I would say if you did these 3 times a week, it would set you up for success down the road. And when we add the new exercises, basically you can just maybe you stack them. You do this exercise and then you do next month's in one day, and then you take a day off and then you do the next ones. But we're going to recommend that you do one of these once a day, basically.
Yeah, and as we show you these exercises, these mobility things, what you're going to notice is as you go to start perform within your sport, like as a lineman, right, you're probably doing drills, some weightlifting, agility, you're going to start feeling better, right? You're going to start performing better. And we're going to start from the ground up, and we are going to build you into a better lineman here starting today here in January 2024. So this season you can dominate on the gridiron. So again, for linemen, we're going to start with the ground. And whenever I coach linemen, I train linemen, the first thing we start out with is we start with understanding our relationship with our feet in the ground. As linemen, as athletes, we have to be able to generate force through the ground to move efficiently, and then especially for linemen to strike with power, balance, and mobility. Dr. Nolan today is going to show us some exercises that are going to really maximize those.
Yep, so we're just going to dive right into it. First, we want to just start with some soft tissue stuff. So, Chris, here's a ball for you and a ball for me. And we're just going to put one foot, and we're going to roll for just 30 seconds. And I always say we're going to try to find those spicy nuggets in our feet. If you find one, spend a little bit of time in it. Get quicker movements in there. Fine. Good.
And I should have got a pedicure for this, but it is what it is. Mine are around my big toes. I had turf toe when I was playing, and my big toes, I'm just constantly sore in there.
Good.
And this is something anyone could do, right? When they wake up in the morning, I know a lot of people have like plantar fasciitis and things like that, and just to kind of roll out your feet in the morning is probably a good idea.
Absolutely.
And the best thing that works is we have these little balls here. If you have a lacrosse ball, those things are amazing.
That's pretty much what these are.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we can have a seat, Chris.
Oh, I'm going to sit down.
Yep. You are going to hold hands with your feet. So you're going to go on a date with your feet a little bit. So put your hands in there. And all you're going to do is create this figure 8. So you're going to go, yep. You're really trying to get mobilization through that midfoot and like really grinding these bones. 1, you're getting spread of the toes. 2, you're getting movement through this area of your foot. You actually have a lot of little bones in there, and they all have to move for your foot to function properly. And if we can get that mobilization in there.
I can feel some crackling in there.
Yep. These bones haven't moved that well in a while. So we spend all of our time in shoes, and those, yep, go to the other one.
Now this one's a little harder because this turf toe hurts a little bit more, so I don't get quite as good spread there.
Yeah.
In there, but.
So you'll notice if you do this consistently, you'll have an easier time getting your fingers in between those toes. See, this one is very stiff. You can see how stiff his foot is. So you need to spend a little bit of extra time. I want you to twist with your hand also. So
Oh.
if you're going in a circle, I want you to kind of roll. There you go.
There you go.
Good.
I wasn't doing it right.
Good. So he's just spending about 30 seconds.
I can really feel this in
Yeah.
my big toe. I can hear it crackling.
Good. Good. So I do this anytime I do like a lower body exercise day. So stand back up. Now we're gonna practice what we call the tripod of our foot. So you're gonna put your heel down, you're gonna put the outside part of your foot, and then you're gonna try to spread the most footprint.
I don't have a big spread. There you go.
There you go. And you want, yep. So my feet used to look worse than yours.
Yeah.
And you eventually get better at getting your toes to spread. You see my two over there don't like it. But basically here, and now what we're gonna try to twist our knee. So you're gonna twist it out like this, but keep the ball of your foot on the ground. Good, good.
As you can tell, I'm not
feel your
much of an
arch.
athlete. I do feel it.
Yep, so we're just gonna do rotations, really trying to drive that big toe into the ground, but not gripping it, but pushing down. Good, good. Now we're gonna do that with the other foot. This is a really weird one. So heel down, outside part, try to lay the big toes, spread the toes as much as possible.
My toes
Good.
don't spread like yours.
Yeah, they will if you keep working on what we're doing right now.
Now talk about the toe spread, because I've heard a lot. You've talked about different people, patients that have come in who have had problems with lower extremities, and you had a weightlifter. Whitney talked about a weightlifter that came in and then they did some toe spread and it totally took the pain away.
Yep, so just think about it. Our feet are shaped, like a good foot is shaped bigger at the ends and it gets narrow. We want a wide base of support because the name of the game is to put as much force through the ground.
Yeah.
Can you put more force with your fist into the ground, or can you do it better with like a finger?
Yeah.
Right? So we want as much spread, as much stability into the ground in connection with the ground. So that's why we get toe spread. And it also activates all the little muscles in our
And when I tell my linemen, again, the first session we always do with them is to work in their socks, right?
Yep.
And I tell them when they get in their stance to really get those feet in the ground,
Yep.
right? So now I have my whole surface of my foot in the ground and I can efficiently get out of my stance and explode out of there. So this is basically preparing linemen to do that, right?
Right.
Awesome.
Okay, now you struggled with the toe spread. We're gonna try to get better at that. So you're gonna push the big toes into the ground. You're gonna lift all the other four.
Now focus on Nolan's feet because I can't do this very well.
But we gotta see, because people are gonna struggle and they don't wanna.
Seeing a good and a bad example.
There you go.
Yeah, good. Now we're gonna switch and we're gonna lift the big toes, push the other four down, right? Good work. Go back and forth now.
Feel that turf toe.
Yep. Good.
Keep explaining it, Nolan.
I joke around a lot when I am talking to somebody and I'm kind of bored. I'll mess with this like as I'm standing and do this exercise in my shoes all the time.
It's hard to do both your feet at the same time.
Yep. So if you're struggling here, one thing that you can do is you can just reach down.
Yeah.
Push your big toe down. Lift the other four.
There you go. Yeah.
Now push the other four down. Lift the big toe. Good. Just give yourself a little bit of help, and you'll eventually get that muscle memory to get better at this.
These little muscles make a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Good. Very good. Keep working on that.
It's already getting better.
Good. All right. Now that we got all these foot intrinsic muscles really warmed up, we're going to stand on one foot. So I want you to grab your kettlebell. I want you to think about that toe spread and creating the biggest space possible with your foot. Stand on one foot. Good. And we're going to just rotate this kettlebell around. Good. See how you're kind of gripping
Yeah.
the ground? That's okay for right now.
But I feel like
want
if I
you to
went
push your
suction into it,
toes.
okay?
Yep. Very good.
Yeah. That gets
Good.
tiring, right?
Yeah.
Pretty fast, right?
Yep, go the other side.
All right.
So a good cue that I like to use with people is,
Oh, sorry.
yep, you're good, is don't let me pull this part up.
So I'm putting the middle of my foot down.
Yep. And that'll help get better connection with that big toe.
Yeah.
What we need to get better at. Good. So next, you're gonna grab your towel. We're gonna roll it up into a churro. I know you linemen like churros, so you use food references a lot.
Nice.
Okay. So now we'll just kind of face each other so that we can have something to hang on to. But we're gonna place the edges of our toes. So we want the balls of our feet on the ground, but our toes on the towel.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just gonna raise up, but we want to put all of our pressure down through the toes. So when most people would do toe raises or calf
Yeah.
raises, they will push through this part or this part. And we wanna push down through the big toes, and he can probably feel the difference.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely
Yeah.
harder.
Yep. So there's interesting studies out there, basically direct correlation with pro agility in athletes with the strength of their toes being able to push down.
Really?
The athletes that were slower did not have as much strength pushing down with the toes.
This is already kind of, I feel like my big toes where the turf toe is, it's kind of loosening it up.
Good.
So it feels better actually.
So, and we are talking about pushing down and
Yeah.
not gripping.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Good. So he's doing this straight-legged. Ideally, we would want to do about 25 of these.
Yeah.
But you're probably going to be really tired in the beginning.
Yeah,
So
I'm starting
15,
to get tired.
right? Now, we did it kind of straight-legged
Yeah.
as much as possible. We're going to bend our knees. We're just going to go up onto the toes.
So that's harder.
Yep, and keep those knees bent. Now we're just working a different muscle in our calf. The soleus, to be exact.
The muscle underneath.
Yep. So when we're standing, we're working on the pretty muscle that makes a nice indentation. But when we bend our knees, we're working on the soleus, which actually has a ton of control of the foot, but also soleus strength has a good correlation with ACL tears or not.
Okay.
So we want strong soleus.
I definitely feel like getting like tired, but the toes are getting looser.
Good. Very good. Good.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're gonna stop there today. But if you would to do like 3 rounds of that,
Yeah.
or even just 1 round for the very first time, or just 1 round of that if you have a heavy leg day,
Yeah.
just to get your feet prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a really good little routine. It doesn't take long. If you did it without all the explanation, it maybe take 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, I can tell right now, obviously, as a, in the professional world and just coaching, I don't do a lot of these kind of exercises the guys are doing, but I can definitely feel fatigue from my toes all the way up to my knees,
Yeah.
basically. And so what I'm going to do, just like you guys out there, I'm going to go and do these exercises every day. And by the time we come back next time, I should be able to do them really good.
Yeah.
And then our plan is to add a little bit more every time, right? We're going to move up the body, but your feet are so important, right? And you really got to take the time to do these for several weeks in a row so that when we do start adding those, you're going to add more complex motions, whether it's different steps, pass sets, run blocking. If your feet are in line, if they're connected to the ground, if they're strong and they're healthy, well then you can work more efficiently,
Yeah.
right?
And we kind of alluded to it. If your toe strength is better, you're a better athlete. If your soleus muscle is stronger, it prevents injuries and it helps rehab injuries. So in anything that we do at our office, if we are rehabbing a knee or a hip, we have to focus on the foot. So you might as well get used to doing some work with the feet to make you a better athlete and a better lineman.
Pretty much ground-based athletes have to do that. Would you say that the people who spend a lot of money, the professional athletes, probably start out with this and their trainers are doing this with them?
Yeah, Some professional trainers are probably throwing it into workouts, and the athlete may have no idea, but there's an intention with doing some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm already very aware of now my feet a little bit more on the ground.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys out there as linemen, or you coaches that are going to, and strength coaches out there, they're going to take your linemen through this. Get started on this now. Okay, you got some time. I know you're pushing some weight around, but we're not doing a ton of stuff on the field. The more we do stuff like this, when we do get to on the field drills, then we get to competition and games. If this is kind of part of your routine, you kind of lay that foundation to be a better football player, better offensive lineman. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Go ahead and watch. Again, in the links below is going to be, we're going to have some graphics for you. We're going to have links to our building alignment when we talk about our feet and how they work. Tons of information out there. If you want more information, or you feel like, you know what, I need some more help with this, Dr. Nolan at MidwestMovementElkhorn.com. We're here in Elkhorn, Nebraska, right next to Rick's Meats. Dr. Nolan's been amazing. I've sent athletes to him who come in with injuries all over their body, and he has a knowledge of how our bodies work to get them back on the field, get them back playing. So if you need that right now to get on the right foot, give Dr. Nolan a call, look them up. They're here in Elkhorn, Nebraska. Last reminder, if you are watching this on YouTube, right down there is the subscribe button. On social media, at Bober Academy is our handle. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all those fun things. Be sure to like, share, comment, retweet, all the things that they do out there. We really appreciate it. So join us next time where we're going to move up the body and start using our legs, getting a little bit closer to our hips, and we're going to build you into a great lineman in just 6 or 7 months so you can dominate on the gridiron this fall. Dr. Nolan, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be here next time.